Um, and we've been working with the chakras, so energy wheels. And if like this is like you're just checking in, it's okay if you missed a wheel, because you can't teach the above ones without reconnecting to the bottom ones. So just to go over it a little quickly, right? The chakras are just where nerves intersect through the spine, right? And we know, or we study mainly 7 of them, but there's a lot of them. And all of it is where energy whirls. Let's just call it what it is, really simple. And the energy from what they know goes clockwise. We don't want it to go the other way, and we don't want it to stop. And that's where blockages happen. Right? And each chakra kind of has this element to it. So the root chakra is obviously earth. Right? It is our connection to the material world. And I don't necessarily mean your boats and your cars, but how you walk on this planet, your security of job, how you look at your physical body. The material stuff you have in your life can work as a positive or a negative. And then the next chakra is right below the navel at the perineum and sacrum, or above the perineum at the sacrum. And that is your water chakra. And it's right in your reproductive system, the lower digestive system. It is basically, and you can't clear this one without really being centered in the roots. It is our desires, our passion, sensuality, sexuality. So it's how we flow through our physical world. And then we're going to come into the solar plexus. So that's what we're going to work with today. And most people, when they do these yoga classes and they're working like the solar plexus or the Manipura chakra, they just do a ton of like sit-ups and crunches. I don't want to do that. So I look at the center area. One is our will to be where we are, our will to change, our will to let go of what is not us. Our will to move into the unknown. Right? So really connecting to that, the color is yellow. And it's really our internal fire and drive. And we don't want it to be overheated, and we don't want it to be underheated. So we're going to work from the center right here in the solar plexus diaphragm. So just kind of placing your hand here for a moment and just start to connect to your breath. And it should be pretty easy because the diaphragm muscle is what we breathe from, right? And it is a really powerful muscle. It's one of the few muscles that's not fully connected to bone. And as you inhale, it pulls down and flattens like a drum skin. And then just the natural reaction, it pushes the air out, right? So we don't really take a breath in and out. It just occurs, right? From the pressure within the lungs and around us. So just connecting to if, right, this area needs work today. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want to connect to the chakras at all. We're just here to kind of roll together. But maybe even noticing kind of the will to do anything, or you have too much drive to kind of get out there and kind of claim your regular routine back. So just kind of, where is the center of your drive right now? And just start to notice the breath. Good. And then we're going to create a little bit of heat. You had to listen to me for at least a couple minutes right there. So we're going to create a little bit of heat. So what I'd like you to do is bring your hands to your knees. Let my words go. And now it really dropping into your action, just the distant voice. And you're going to round into cat and seated. Just take note of what shin's in front. And then I want you to inhale, lift the chest into a cow, kind of shine the solar plex area forward. Couple deep breaths. And then we're going to do a little Kriya work just for a minute. So as you inhale, pull the breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And keep going. Now you can stay nice and steady like this. Or you can speed it up. Keep going. Now, if you tend to get dizzy in breath work, keep your eyes open. And if you still get dizzy, go really slow. And if it doesn't surpass, then stop and just breathe. Otherwise, kind of play into it. It's just moving from this deep core center and kind of tilting the pelvis. And we can sometimes tell, like, if there's blockages, right? So I know I always carry a throat blockage, but it's much clearer today than it was when I was working it on Monday. There's just this kind of heaviness and inability to kind of really move in this area and breathe as you do it. And so it's just kind of recognizing, right? And on Monday, I was just not in a good space, didn't want to do anything. And it was just like nice to like recognize that in the energy and be able to move to try to kind of move that energy out. It might not change your circumstances, but the idea is we're moving through, right? We're shedding away what's not us. Right? I'm not a kind of sad, lazy person, but you got to go through those things. And so I knew what I wanted to move through. So it's just being in a space of self-study. We'll do about 30 more seconds. Good. Take a deep inhale, pause, hold. Should feel a nice warm vibration in the chest. Exhale, round, just soften for a moment. You should feel a nice stretch through the back body. And then inhale, exhale, gently walk your hands forward. Just take a forward fold for 5 breaths. Good. Walk the hands back. You're going to switch the cross of the legs. And then you have an option for this next one. It's a shorter Kriya, but we're going to get into the side obliques. So you can place the hands behind the head, deeper chest opening, much more intense shoulder work, or you can bring your fingertips to your shoulder blades, right? And all we're going to do is this lateral stretch. So inhale, inhale, exhale. And it's like the elbows are slightly coming to the knees, but I don't want you to collapse the chest down. I want you to keep the chest rotating open right behind the diaphragm, right behind the heart. And we'll just go. I don't have a timer. I usually go until like I'm like, oh, starting to feel it in the area, and do about 30 seconds more. Right? But we only have an hour today. Right? Kriyas should be done from anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And they're simple movements, really activating the breath. And this is a breath of fire. You inhale through the nose, exhale. Keep the head pressing into the hands so the hands don't press the head forward. Deep inhale. Exhale to one side. Hold for 3. Eyes open. Press the head into the hands. Soften around the shoulders. 2 and 1. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, release the hands, forward fold. Good. Walk the hands back. Stretch out the legs. Hands will come to the top of the mat. Curl the toes under. Take the sit bones back. Feel the stretch through the arch. So when we're working in the root chakra, it's really about grounding. When we're working in the second chakra, it's really about fluidness. And those two working together create this easeful drive in intense areas. So from here, just lift your knees, press your palms into the floor, and just hover in that area. Feet are grounding, breath is moving. So instead of doing these these kind of core exercises with a lot of momentum and push, right, I want you to find the drive within. Right? And then slowly start to lengthen back into your down dog. You can play here. Right? Once again, when you play, the hands are rooting. The breath is flowing. You're finding your strength. Good. From here, I want you to lift your heels. Chin comes into the chest, round towards the front of the mat. Push back for a deeper dog. Upper arms hug in, chin into the chest. Lift your tippy toes, round towards the front of the mat. Exhale for a deeper dog. Good. Take 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. And you're literally contracting your pubic bone towards your solar plexus. Right, so you're feeling that little squeeze there. Fingertips push down. Good. 1 more. And then come into plank. Good. Shoulders right over the rest. If you need to bring your knees down, bring your knees down. Claw the fingertips a little bit. And plank is all about that connection to will to grow, will to let go of the idea that you can't do this pose safely, strongly, and stable. Good. Inner thighs roll up, shift forward, lower, all the way to the ground. Tops of the feet press. Hands just stay where they are and just come into a low cobra. Now I want you to really feel, right, your low belly lift, almost like you're trying to make a cat pose in your low back. And then it connects. What happens is our rib cage kind of puffs into the floor, which is nice. You feel that pressure, but can you feel the rib cage? Right, I'm gonna use my fingers if you need to look. The rib cage in the front goes down towards your pubic bone or hip bones, and the rib cage in the back lifts away from the low back. It's so subtle, but if you get it, the strength that you start to build in your spine is immense. Okay? And I want you to try to keep that. You can stay in low cobra or start to build it into your cobra variation. Keep your elbows bent, front rib cage in, back rib cage lifts. Then lift the heart. Tops of the feet press. 3, 2, 1. If you want, go up to up dog. Same thing, but now I'm exaggerating it a little bit. It's like you're trying to do this cat in the low belly and then open up the chest. And you may think it feels like, oh, it's an argument, but find this kind of let go of the tension of what it should be and just kind of play with those minor muscular movements. One more full breath. Good. Exhale, slowly push it back to down dog. Good. So our vinyasa for today, the rooted flow vinyasa, and you can adjust, but we're going to go into it here. So chin into the chest, heels lift, round into cobra or up dog. Right? Knees will come down, point the toes back. Chest forward, bend the elbows, lift, low belly. Chaturanga with knees down. Push, straighten the arms. Curl the toes under. Exhale, down dog. You got it. Nice. So, and when all those energies are working well, there should be this empowerment when you come back to down dog. Okay, it's like, all right, I'm ready. I got that. If it's not there, it's just through practice and patience that it'll get there. Nice deep breath in. And inhale, look to the top of your mat. End of your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Reach up to the sky. Low belly draws in. Hands come to the heart. Steady breath. Good. If you can, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Come into chair pose. Send the hip, sit bones back, weight into the heels, low belly draws in, right? It's that solar plex contraction, right? We want to just gently love up on that wheel to remove blockages. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Bend the knees, step your left foot back. Left knee comes to the ground, rise. From here, I want you to once again bring your hands behind your head or to the shoulders. If they're behind your head, you got to press the head into the hands, lift up through the chest. Same thing. Don't let that energy just kind of spew out. Create a container to work in. Front rib cage draws in. And then I want you just to start to, once again, laterally bend to the right side of your mat. Keep the left shoulder soft, press through the right heel. Take 3 breaths. Good, come back to center. Lift the back knee. Pivot your feet, wide leg stance. Hands are still behind the head. Turn your left foot to the back of the mat. Pivot on the ball of your right foot. Bring your right knee down. All we did is just go around and left elbow towards the left side of your mat. Press the head back into the hands. Breathe. Good. Inhale back to center. Lift the back knee. Pivot again, right? So yes, we're using the legs, but it's really coming from this deep core line. Shift onto the ball of the back foot. See if you can step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, step your right foot back. So now this time, maybe that right knee doesn't come down. So this is all kind of moving from this deep balance place. So if you feel wobbly, take the foot to the left. Hands come behind the back, deep breath in. Exhale, press the head into the hands, bend to the left. It's a little more shakier this time. Be willing to be okay with the wobbliness, right? That's where we're forced to kind of, whoa, okay, engage. Good, inhale, pivot, and then all the way. Now your right foot is the top, and you're gonna bend to the right. Press the head back. You can always do it again with the knee down, give yourself support. There's nothing to prove, right? It can be just as challenging to work on the ground. And then lift back to center. Open up the chest. Good. Step forward. Reach the arms straight up. Front rib cage draws in. Exhale, hands come down. Keep the legs nice and straight. Float the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to down dog. Okay, our first full vinyasa here. You can stay in down dog or round into plank or not, and then into either cobra or up dog. Now, I'm going to keep my toes curled under. You can bring your knees down. Otherwise, lift the hips, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Straighten the arms, push back to down dog. Right? Is that necessary? No. But is there a lot of will needed to do that? For sure. But that first variation with the knees down is really beautiful to get that low belly work connected. Good, nice deep breath in. Exhale everything out. You're gonna lift your right leg, press your left heel down for 3, 2, 1. Draw your right knee into your nose for 3, 2, 1. Step your right foot between the hands. Left heel comes down, warrior 1. Now, if we had an hour and a half, which maybe one day soon we will, I would do it, but we don't. But to sit in warrior 2 for 5 minutes is something extraordinary. No expectations. We're just going to hang out in warrior 2 for a moment. Pressing through the outer edge of your left foot. And if you feel like you get really tired in the legs in warrior 2, I want you to feel like you're isometrically kind of squeezing them together. Like you're trying to drag that right heel back. Okay. Spine lifts. Okay. Really lifting from here. Navel draws back. Arms. If you feel your arms are the ones that really start to burn fast in warrior 2, see if you can activate your pectoral muscles a little bit, right? Because if you're just here, the joints hanging in the shoulders, right? These muscles are really small, but your chest, expansive, like the stability is here. So zip it up from the core and out through the chest. Right? And then feel the muscles in the arm just hug to the bone. Right? And really feel that lightness. Zip all the way up. Whoo. And expand. Steady gaze. We're still in it. Soften around the shoulders. And just be. Now, I've been going back to some of my old texts. And I found Judith Lassiter wrote this little bit about what yoga is. So I'm gonna try to make the time go by. We're about a minute in. Let's see if we can get 2 minutes. But someone asked Michelangelo, how did he do the sculpture of the horse in marble? And he said it was easy. He said, I just took away all the parts that weren't the horse. I was like, what? That makes so much sense. So Judith Lasser says that it's in the sutras, like we read about it. Yoga is not about creating the new you. Okay? It's about pulling away all the parts that aren't really you. And that's how we live fully. Just 3 more breaths. Good. From here, you're going to go into triangle. Just to release that front leg, hug the hip in, keep the spine long, fingertips to the outside of the right foot, to the shin, or press to the inner shin. Right? Lots of options there. Choose one and be willing to stay with it for the next 5 breaths. Toes relaxed. If you can, take your gaze towards your left shoulder and up to the thumb. Ground through the feet, we flow with the breath, we rise with our will. We are here to really be and exist from within, not by our outside circumstances. One more full breath. Good. I want you to hug in at the solar plexus, bend the front knee, lift from that deep, deep core line. Good. Big breath in. Exhale. Windmill the hands down, pivot onto the ball of the back foot. And then you're going to bring your left knee down, pull your right leg back. Right? So it's like a 3-legged table. Good. And I'm going to turn around. So if you need to look, I want you to open the right hip. Bring the right foot down for a breath. And if you feel wobbly, take your left foot to the left, right? If you want more challenge, keep it the shin in line with the right heel. Ground through the left hand, supported Vashisthasana. Deep breath in, reach the arm overhead, so left arm overhead, and we've got 10 elbow to knee here. So contract pubic bone to the belly button. You're gonna lift your right leg up. Now everything's starting to wobble. Turn the right toes up, pull the elbow to knee. Inhale, out. Adjust. Don't be afraid to kind of move limbs to feel more stable. Right? Just because a teacher goes, this is the proper alignment, might not mean it's the exact proper alignment for you, right? If you feel pain after it, it's not right. Good. I had a lost count. I feel like you guys are probably at 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now from here, slowly take your right foot behind, reach your right arm up and behind. If it's there to grab, gently grab your foot or ankle. Open up. Even though you're opening up in this back bend, keep the container of that front rib softening in. 3, 2, 1. Good. Exhale. Hand comes down, curl the toes under on the left. Stretch the right leg back. Open the hip. Right foot will join the left in down dog. Deep breath in, exhale through the mouth. Good, here's your vinyasa. Heels lift, round into cobra or up dog. Knees can come down, but find your way. Just touch on chaturanga. Stretch it back up, go back to down dog. Do something that is intense and challenging, at least in each moment, but not struggling, right? There's a difference between challenge and struggle. If you're struggling through breath and body, come to a space where there's less, okay? With knees down or whatever you need to do. Full breath in. Exhale. Left leg's gonna lift. Press your right heel down for 3, 2, 1. Pull the left knee into the nose. Push into the floor. Really round up through the spine. Okay? Really see if you can pull it forward. One more breath. What can you do? And then step it forward. No momentum. Right heel comes down, warrior 2. Get your feet active. And then open up. Now, there's no such thing as cheating in yoga, but I know my personality, which is not me, it's from conditioned of whatever is, so I don't attach to it. I like to take my time, especially in yin classes. So I shave off time so I can really come out at the bell. And those are just like things that I watch it. And so the more I watch it, the more I recognize, like, okay, Natalie, don't cheat yourself of this opportunity. Because that's what we end up doing, right? We hold on to the conditions of what we think is us and what we think is good for us, or what we think is easier, more challenging. And it's really this mental kind of puzzle that really never gets put together properly. But when you step away from it, you can see it and realize that it's just something. It's an energy. And that way, from the detachment from it, you can make a shift into a place that you want to be. I want to be able to sit in the thoughts without reaction. Oh, yeah. Even if it's for an extra 10 seconds. Because deep down, we're not reactive people. We are peace, right? We're curious. Whatever your beliefs are, kind of you're born of that purity and that truth. That's where the equality is. Not the ideas of society, how they get ingrained into ourselves. And we start to believe that. And we react to it. This is kind of that space to kind of shed away the reaction. Through this practice, we are really carving away all that's not us, so that masterpiece really gets to be seen. And I'm sure even as Michelangelo was working, things didn't work out perfectly. At certain points, it was like, I can't see it. You step away, well, maybe you can. You have to find your own process, and these shapes help us. It's only one part. Last few really deep breaths. See if you can sink into it. Especially if nothing's broken yet. It may be burning. Burn's okay. Sharp stabbing, not so much. One more full breath. Good. Now straighten your legs. You can let the arms relax. Shift. Elongate the spine. Triangle pose. Maybe looking up towards the thumb. Feel the heart open. The shoulder blade tips draw together and the front rib cage draws in. And you just want to create this container of stability for the energy to move. Add one more full breath. We come back up to warrior 2 before we go all the way to the ground. So come back up. Windmill the hands down. Slowly pivot onto the ball of the right foot. Bring that right knee down. Pull your left leg back. Open up the left hip. Bring the left foot down, right? Just supported, Vashisthasana. Find stability so you can really focus on the mobility. Reach your left arm overhead, left leg lifts, nice deep inhale, exhale, contract. Inhale, push and open. Exhale, contract. Gently claw a little bit into the right fingertips. So you're actually almost lifting the weight out of the wrist and engaging more through the forearm of that right arm, right? And that helps build up strength as you play with arm balances and shut. Good, 3 more. If your count's different than mine, that's okay. Good. And then reach. Hand comes down. Pivot, curl the back toes under, lift left leg open. Both feet come down, down dog. Round into your up dog. Chaturanga, plank, down dog, or any variation thereof that brings you back to neutral. Right? We want that effort of groundedness, fluidness, and the will to kind of touch on the unknown. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. And inhale, look up. End of your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, rise. Hands come to the heart. Pause. Just be a witness. Right? To the universe that exists inside of you. Good. So that was a very stabilizing little namaskar. We're going to go into a very fluid one. So especially with this, I want you to be conscious of your low back. We've done it slow once. We're just going to pick it up a pace. So from here, chair pose. So just moving through the namaskar, we'll meet in down dog. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Plant the hands, step back to down dog. You can stay here or work the vinyasa to up dog cobra, chaturanga, plank, down dog. Good, so this time the right leg's gonna lift. And I want you to bring it as close to the right elbow tricep, the outside of the arm, for 3 breaths, for as long as you can. Well, for 3 breaths. As close as you can is what I meant to say. Really push to lift. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Now pull it back. Open up. Good. And then you're going to step your right foot forward. Come up to warrior 1. So heel to heel alignment and rise. Hands are going to come behind the head. You can work them on the shoulders as well. So warrior 1, front rib cage draws in, tailbone down. Press the head into the hands. Breathe. So now that same movement we did, okay, but this time we're going to come into a squat. I want you to lean forward, pivot onto the feet, take the toes, point out, wide squat, chest, lift, sink the hips. Breathe. Good. Straighten the legs, pivot. Left foot becomes the front foot. Right heel slides back. Press the head back. Open up the chest, tailbone down. Good, come back into the squat, pivot your feet, take your time. Heels in, toes out slightly, knees track over the ankles. Open up the chest, navel down or navel to the spine, tailbone down. Breathe. Good, straighten up, back to the top of the mat. Release the arms. Exhale, hands come down. Step it back, down dog, into your back bend, into your chaturanga, into your plank, down dog. Or whatever adventure you're willing to take with a little drive into the unknown. Deep breath in. So, left leg, pull the knee as close to the tricep as you can. Push into the floor, breathe. Even keep that right leg super strong, 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 strong. And then pull, open up the hip. Step forward. Take your time to build the foundation, even though we're going to move dynamically, right? Hands come behind the head, interlace. Nice deep breath in. We got a little game we're going to play in that squat in the middle. So lean forward, pivot, heels in, toes out. Big wide stance, nice deep inhale. Exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale, press up. Exhale. Inhale up, 2 more each side. Exhale. Inhale. Cross. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come back to center, to the back of the mat. The right foot should be the front foot for warrior 1 again. Good. 1 more round. Come back into the squat. Here's the deal. You can do it there or sink all the way down. Press the head back, elbow to knee. Inhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, elbow to knee. Honor your knees and hips. Not all of us are meant to do this. Okay? So shave away the idea that this is a must to go. Good. Come back to center. Push to rise. Pivot. Land. Warrior 1. Deep breath in. Exhale. Take your vinyasa. Maybe it's just down dog. That was a lot of work. We don't want to overheat. We want to feed the flame sweetly. Breathe. Good. Inhale, looking to the top of your mat. End of your exhale, step or hop. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose. Sweep the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, open up the chest, fold a little deeper. And keep the neck releasing. Good, slowly. Hands will release to the floor. Make sure your feet are hip bone distance apart. Bend the knee slightly, and I want you to hug everything in. Like everything is kind of swooping in towards the center of your body. As you pull on up and stack each vertebra, roll the shoulders back to create a beautiful platform for the head and neck to sit. Right, pause. So we're going into Ardha Chandrasana from standing. So it is much more challenging. Maybe. Sometimes I feel I'm able to build it easier from this. And the reason I want to do it from standing is so that we can really connect to this area, because it is starting in a balance pose. So the right foot's going to stay on the ground. And pick a steady gaze. If you know you're going to want a wall or a couch or chair, have them close by. If you need books or a box, take this few breaths to get it. Whether you're in a class or at home, it's like your time in the practice. And then from here, steady gaze. I want you to feel a sense of zipping up all the way from the pubic bone to the sternum, and gently clenching in like you're putting on a girdle. So just starting to activate. And when we do this, we're getting the deeper layer of the muscles as opposed to the superficial muscles. And then the weight's going to go into the right foot, the left knee is going to lift, and you're going to open up into like this kind of floating tree. And then I want you to bend your right knee and then start to hinge. And as you hinge, that left leg's going to go back, and take your time, but the right fingertips will come to the floor, and you're going to put them at least 2 feet in front of that right pinky toe. Right? So my right knee is bent. From here, left hand to the hip. I'm going to push down into that right foot to lift the kneecap and really engage through the muscles. Then I'm going to turn my left toes to the left and push from the core, right? So everything is coming this root down to rebound to this engagement in the core into your half moon. And then it becomes yours. Yours to wobble in, yours to get rigid and angry in, yours to laugh at. Hey, what do you want it to be for you today? And then don't expect it. Hey, let go, just see what it is. Playing with Chapasana, you'll start to pull that right heel, or sorry, the left heel back, heart open. If you want, see if you can reach back and find the foot and breathe. And then fall out, because you're human. If you do fall out, try to come back from whatever on the ground. Have whatever's on the ground to connect to that core area, and then open up from there. Right? A lot of times when we fall out, automatically, we just start to do the practice in our head. So last few breaths there. Here's the fun part. Let's try to come back up where we were. So if you fell out, just softly come back. Keep everything bent. Okay? So now the right knee's got to bend a lot. And slowly, whoo, come on up. That deserves a few really grounding breaths. 2 feet on the floor, head upright. Good. And then we'll do the other side. So let go of the expectations. Steady gaze. Weight into the left foot, bend the knee. Open up the hip. Just slowly bring the left fingertips down. Maybe that voice is like, my balance is so bad. No, let that go. Maybe you fall out in this moment, but don't create this stipulation of past and future that don't exist. Start to push to connect to the core in the left leg. Push to connect all the way up to the core in the right leg. And then play with expansiveness. Maybe the knee bends. Is it less of a pose if you don't grab your foot or bend your knee? Absolutely not. Sometimes adding on actually takes away. You want to reveal the beauty underneath, the perfection of the imperfection. Good, last few deep breaths. And then bend the left knee. Steady gaze. See if you can wobble your way back up. Both feet on the ground. Steady and stable. Good. Turn the toes out. Deep breath in, arms float up. Exhale, come down into a Malasana. Just using it to transition. Opening up the low back. Heart lifts. Back of the neck long. And then slowly we'll come down to seated. Okay. So half Virasana on your right leg, so hero's pose. If your knee doesn't like that, you can take it a little wider and draw the knee back more, right? So more of this 90 angle shape. And most of the time, the knee in that angle is a little more comfortable. But if you can get the half Virasana, do. Okay, and breathe. And then you're going to bend your left knee and see if you can come into half Padmasana, right? So half lotus pose. If that's not like, there you go. Right? Once again, honor the knees and breathe. And you can also do this with the leg straight. So nice to have options. Good. So if you're in half Padmasana, if you're in any of the shapes, if you're in all, this is your, whatever shape you're in, I want you to press the sit bones down. Lift up through the sternum. And then exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Bring your right hand to the left knee, if you can. Inhale, sit up really tall. Exhale, wind a little deeper. With each inhale, we really want to find a lengthening of the spine. And with the exhale, really twisting to find a little more squeeze. It's not forced. You don't have to crank the neck in any direction. Just take 3 more twists or breaths wherever you are. Keep the sit bones grounding, front rib cage drawing, and good. And then unwind. Take your left leg forward. Gently stretch your right leg out, Dandasana. Switch to the other side. Listen to the joints and what sensations they're sending to you. Adjust as you need. Right? So even if like this knee won't do the same as that knee, if the shape in the legs isn't identical the same, we can still work with trying to make the energy the same. So from here, open up, lift up through the chest. The left hand will come to the right, and the right hand will go behind. So my knee doesn't like it. So, but I want to twist still because my spine likes that. What really helps the knees in these situations is if you flex the feet. Chin just aligns with the chest. Good, and then unwind. Start in Dandasana, staff pose. And then we'll start to take the legs out. I do suggest grabbing a pillow if you tend to start back here. This is going to help get us into this area. And there's physical body alignment, and there's energetic body alignment, and then there's strength. Okay, so you might be like almost here, and then it's really, you want to feel that lift through the torso. That's the rooting, the fluidity into the strength. Reach out through the heels. You can always bend the knees if the hamstrings are really tight. Otherwise, arms go up, big breath in, exhale, fold, hinge deep at the hips, fingertips come down. And then use the breath to negotiate your way either physically deeper or just intentionally, energetically deeper. Right. So if you're tight and you're up here, the physical body's not ready to go. You have to start moving stagnation energetically in the body. And that just means kind of hold and appreciate where you are. And the body really recognizes when the mind turns from this doing to this like just being. And being doesn't mean you're not doing anything. Being means you're existing in what is. And then the doors just tend to open a little faster. So deep breath in, exhale. And let's be here for just about 30 seconds. And all this work is really about Swajahaya, this self-study. Now, when the Vedas thousands of years ago talked about this being one of the key points of yoga, they didn't mean like read a book and like you knew it, like you're good to go. They meant like be disciplined in coming back to that same mantra, the same verse, the same poem, to really not just learn it, but live in it. And that's what yoga is supposed to be, is this kind of coming back to. And you'll notice if you start to look at how you are on your mat, some days you're just agitated and nothing feels right. We take that into the world, right? We create that agitation in our conversations and our relationships. And then the days that you can find this flow and it's just an hour or 2 hour goes by like 10 minutes, it's like, okay, that's what we want to really kind of connect to, because that's our truth. We were meant to flow, to experience. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Feel a sense of the muscles hug back to the bone, come back up. take the hands underneath the knees. Woo! Squeeze them together. What's a solar plex practice without this pose? So let's do a baby boat. So you hold the backs of the thighs. Keep the spine long. Reach the arms forward. Lower a little. Defy gravity, come back up. Lower a little more. Defy gravity, come back up. Lower a little more. Fall down. No, come back up one more time. And then slowly lower all the way down. Hug the knees in. Rock from side to side. And then what I'd like you to do is cross your right ankle on top of your left. Kind of let the knees just start to splay out. But what you're going to do is take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders. Grab your feet. So the right hand's grabbing the left foot and vice versa. And then let the knees splay out. It's like kind of like a really deep crisscross applesauce forward fold, but on your back. It's okay if your tailbone comes up a bit. I want you to feel the pressure gently in the mid back and breathe there. You might be feeling it in your ankles and your hips. If they're tighter, and that's fine, but just feeling that area grounding. Good, relax. And then switch, left ankle on top of the right. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze nose to knees, grab the feet and come back down. Rocking is always nice, especially these last few poses. Massaging the back into the floor. And then the knees will hug in. Last little squeeze. And final, relaxation. Reach the heels out. Let the arms release down by the side. The eyes close. Now you just have to trust the work to continue as you do nothing. And this is where the deeper work goes. The physical self relaxes, and then that subtle body hopefully starts to have this restorative party. And just let go of everything. And the hard part is to be willing to let go without expectations into the unknown. Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. As you do, start to bring your awareness back to the physical body. Maybe feel the fluidness of the breath, the heartbeat, the pulse. And then moving willingly into this sacred power center. So you stretch Left, right, open up. And draw the knees into the chest. Roll over to one side, take a couple of deep breaths. And come up to seated. I want you to bring your hands to the rib cages. So let the wrists cross and just hold the rib cages, kind of like you're giving a hug just below the breastbone. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to Om. Nice deep inhale. May our deeper light, our deeper strength, our deeper powers connect